Hey, mortgage coach community, Dave Savage here, and I've been getting a lot of requests for my debrief from Digital Mortgage 2018. I did a debrief, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago on the 100th Friday Mastermind. So if you did watch that, it's going to be a bit of a repeat, might be some nuances and differences, but the debrief is going to be similar. But let me go ahead and get started. So first of all, this is an event that had over 1,500 of the nation's top C-suite executives trying to figure out how do we prioritize our technology roadmap? What technology do we need to invest in now? And where do we need to be by 2020? So my panel was the closing panel. This is me as I opened up the panel. The quote I kicked my message around is just, the fact that technology, at least I don't believe technology is going to replace loan officers, but I absolutely believe, and I've said it over and over and over, that loan officers who master technology will absolutely crush loan officers who don't. So let me share my takeaways, and try to do it in order that helps you as a referral-based local lender, C-suite, or loan officer, local loan officer. There's just no doubt that there's been a pivot and a race to the best customer experience. This was said over and over again by different executives from stage in just about every session. I want to kick things off that when we think about the race to the best customer experience, the customer is the home buyer. Homeowner, home buyer, but let's face it, purchase market's where it's at. So we got to look at the home buying experience. And when you think about the best customer experience for the home buyer, it starts with finding your home. Zillow is a great app. Not only is it a great app to find homes, whether you're just MLS in your back pocket, whether you're out on weekends, open houses, whether you're rate quoting. Let's face it, getting a rate quote from Zillow is easy. It's easy to get the price of a loan. Good news is, even the founder of Zillow says that the agent of the future is a coach and advisor to home sellers and home buyers. That's the good news. Good news. Bad news is most loan officers aren't truly a coach and advisor to home buyers and home sellers. There's a lot of work to do to get to that level. You can't ignore Redfin. Redfin is a fantastic app, and now they have a mortgage company. So there's something called Redfin Mortgage, Zillow Mortgage also. And let's face it, now Keller Williams is in the mortgage business. There's Keller Williams Mortgage. And let's face it, there's all kinds of disruptors coming into the space. So when you think of the best customer experience, you've got to really look at it from the eyes of a home buyer. A lot of folks think that when Amazon comes into the market, by the way, that was a takeaway at Digital Mortgage, no one I talked to didn't think Zillow was getting into the mortgage business. The question wasn't if, the question is when and how. And there's all kinds of bets. Are they going to buy one of the big lenders? Not going to mention the names, but are they going to buy a big lender? Or are they going to buy a disruptor? Like Open Door, ListPad. And then, of course, when you look at the mortgage experience, you can't ignore Rocket. Rocket started that whole movement of, click a few buttons and apply for a mortgage. And at Digital Mortgage, we were fortunate to have a great presentation from their CEO, Bill Emerson. And he further made the case that there really is no delineation between the mortgage business and the tech business. If you're in lending, you're in technology, one of the same. And so by the way, the takeaway for every loan officer on this call is just, ask yourself, are you leveraging the technology that you have today to deliver a better customer experience and to communicate more effectively with your referral partners? And most of the time, the answer is no. That was one of the biggest pain points and takeaways is just, adoption of technology is a big challenge still in the marketplace. We had Anthony Shea from Loan Depot delivered a great presentation. I'm going to share a few of his slides. My takeaway from his presentation was just the focus and importance that as a local referral-based loan officer or lender, we need to get to the buyer first. We need to be the captain of the wealth team. We need to bring those leads back to real estate agents. If we want to really own those partnerships, let's get to the leads first. And we also need the incremental business. So again, just made a case for annual reviews. I thought that was important. I love this slide. I'm going to show a few slides from Anthony Shea's presentation, but just did a great job of showing all the different people that are coming after the customer. The only thing that I think he missed on this is they didn't show credit unions. as I'm doing my mortgage strategy interviews and I ask loan officers, who are you competing with? So often it's big banks, credit unions. Yes, we'll be competing with the Open Doors in the future and the Redfin Mortgage and the Keller Williams Mortgage and maybe someday Amazon. But, so often it's just big banks and credit unions and other local lenders. I just posted a poll question in the Mortgage Coach Facebook group. By the way, if you're a lender or loan officer and you're not part of Mortgage Coach's productivity mastermind group, check it out. Opt in. I let all mortgage professionals in that. But we're getting hit from a lot of different directions. And then this is another takeaway. It was shocking to me. While I knew between Quicken Mortgage and Loan Depot, they had a tremendous market share in refis. I didn't realize that just a few years back, 2011, they were doing 1 in every 30 refi. And they didn't realize that this year, so far, it's 1 in every 5. 20% of the refis are being done by one lender. So tremendous consolidation taking place. Purchase. I mean, while those two lenders are only doing 1 in 22 now, look at the growth. So, that consolidation is happening, and it's being driven by technology, and it's being driven by marketing. So wake up call for all you referral-based local loan officers. It is a new tomorrow. And by the way, tomorrow is here today. This slide I love because this is where the opportunity is for the local provider. Used to be that the realtor owned it all. Realtor owned the borrower relationship, not borrower, the family, the home buyer, and then they dispersed everything. Now it's the customer. Customer has total power. They're picking all their providers. That's why it's so important for you as a lender, referral-based local lender, to become that, captain of the wealth team. Get to the family first, do annual reviews, focus on client for life, and you will kill it. And I'll get to that in just a minute. So another slide from Anthony Shea's presentation, just making the case that, where the opportunity is at is this convergence of digital and local. You really do have a competitive advantage. Wouldn't be a great presentation, complete without Joe Tyrell from Ellie Mae, just talking about how important it is to deliver personalized service. And it's hard to deliver personalized custom service, especially for online buyers. But let's face it, everybody is starting online. So that's the thing we need to master. How do we deliver this hybrid digital local experience? And I'm going to share my thoughts and takeaways on this in a minute. We also had big banks represented at the event. We had a great speaker from B of A. This was a takeaway for me and something for all referral-based local lenders to think about is that, B of A already has household information on 47 million families, and the application is practically already filled out. So think about that when the big banks really get good at putting Rocket Mortgage in their, big bank app, which, let's face it, everybody's got one on a mobile phone. It's just going to get easier and easier to apply for a mortgage. So I want everybody to think as I go through this, and I'm giving the takeaways from Digital Mortgage 2018, that, everybody's in the mortgage business now. Real estate companies, big banks, Amazon is coming. So what does that mean? It means that rate shopping is not going away. This is not a passing storm. We're in a rising interest rate marketplace. And so it's more important than ever that we really shift our model. So here are my thoughts. So takeaways, now action steps. And how do you prioritize the technology that you invest in? And how do you prioritize how you train yourself or how you train your team? So this is the model today. Every loan officer, lender, you're doing some lead development, you're doing some advice, you're doing a lot of transaction work, you're doing some client for life. Although when I interview top producers and I ask them, what do you wish you would have done different? Always the answer is, I wish I would have invested more time in my database. I wish I would have really optimized my recapture rate, my referrals with past customers. Here's the new model, less transaction work because of automation, big data, artificial intelligence. It's going to get faster, easier to do a mortgage. that means more advice. If you want to kill it right now in 2018, and if you want to optimize your success, this is the model of the future. This is the 2020 model where you need to differentiate through the tangible value of your advice, and you need to kill it with past customer marketing. So there's really two models, transactional and relational. And let's face it, at least my belief is, if you're a local referral-based loan officer, you're not going to win the transactional game. You're not going to beat Amazon at the transactional game. You're not going to beat Rocket Mortgage at the transactional game. You're not going to beat big banks on rates and fees. You need to be relational. And I have a picture here of a top loan officer, Jay Kroll, in the Seattle market, having a great in-office experience and delivering tangible advice, which I'll get in a little more detail in a minute. But whether you're meeting someone in your office and it's this amazing educational experience, leveraging technology, or whether you're meeting them just over the phone and internet, you need to deliver tangible value and advice, and you need to build the best relationship consistently and effectively. And so that's where it's at. So over and over, and I asked a lot of experts, where should you be focusing right now on your technology spend? And it's pretty much anything that improves conversion and improves profitability on the front end. So invest in that amazing front end customer experience. Now that means things like your CRM, really getting it right. And by the way, when it says invest, it's not just invest in buying the technology, invest in training your team to use it, invest in integrating it so that it's easy to use, it is automated, but it's invest in that front end experience. So the front end experience that we believe in here at Mortgage Coach, whereas there's the greatest opportunity for improvement, and we could do it rapidly, is updating and upgrading how you deliver price. You know, right now, most loan officers deliver price with a transactional fee worksheet, or they've got their own Excel spreadsheets. And literally, immediately, every loan officer, every lender in the country can start delivering rates and fees with graphs and charts, and really making borrower education a modern educational experience. And let's face it, the world has changed. Even today, you know, the way we're communicating, it has to be an omni-channel experience. We have to give people what they want, where they want it. And if that's a first-time home buyer, this is a real live first-time home buyer at a Pete's Coffee Shop in Northern California. Her loan officer had ordered a rent versus own analysis, and she is self-educating. Do I keep renting? Do I buy now? When do I get off the fence and get into escrow? And the loan officer who can educate the most effectively wins. Again, this is Jay Kroll in Seattle meeting with a client. That client walks out of his office understanding the options. They've downloaded his app. You know, the story started in that meeting. Maybe they didn't have a home in escrow and it was TBD. And now, as they're out shopping for a home, they're getting, you know, updates. Hey, Jay, could you change the rate? Hey, we're thinking about spending more. Hey, we want to look at different down payment options. So one thing when I interviewed Jay recently that I think he's doing that is super smart, you'll notice that he's not calling them loan programs. It's not 30-year fixed rate versus 5-year, or points versus no points. While he is putting in mortgage options, he's calling them strategies. So I think it's important that the best loan officer in the future doesn't just deliver rate quotes, they deliver mortgage strategies. They don't just show monthly payment, they show cost over different windows of time. So you'll notice in Jay's example here, he's not only showing it monthly, but he's showing the savings over 60 months. And he's showing the savings over 15 years, showing it over different windows of time. And it's shareable. They can click a link, they can share it, they can look at it in different views. You know, they can even click a button and read it in Spanish. You know, so that is how you want to deliver an educational experience. And when you're meeting with clients and you're in coffee shops, you want to be able to pull out your mobile phone, educate. Remember, advice. You need to expand the box of advice in how you deliver advice. You need to get trained on doing that. This is another great Mortgage Coach loan officer, Jenny Stoner, I've interviewed her multiple times. You'll notice she's doing a buy now versus wait, cost of waiting analysis. So if you buy now, this is what you'll get. If you wait, oh, by the way, what do you think values are going to do? What do you think rates are going to do? And if you think they're going to go up, maybe now is the time to take action. So again, this is the modern mortgage experience. And this is how you differentiate. Help families go from, I'm confused. Should I buy now? Should I buy at this price? Should I put 5% down, 10% down, 20% down? Where the opportunity is to win at the point of sale. Go from ordinary to amazing at the point of sale and how you deliver advice. I'm going to put a link down below. So if you're watching this debrief and some of my takeaways and some of my recommendations down below, there'll be a link to this interview with Alex Varela. I'm also going to put a link to my mortgage strategy interviews. I did this interview on his client for life strategy. I also did an interview on how we helped a family, make a mortgage decision. So again, I'm going to put a link down below to that. Here is some final thoughts, and then we'll wrap this up, and hopefully you're getting value from this, is that when you look at the technology that you have versus how you're using it, there is a gap. Every loan officer out there has more technology than they're using. And here's the deal. Everybody is saying Amazon's getting into the space. So it's a race. How quick can you not only have the technology to compete, but can you have your sales force, or you as a loan officer, you've upgraded yourself to where you're leveraging that technology in a way that you don't have to worry about it. And here's the deal. Pretty much most believe that Amazon will be in the space by 2020. And by the way, who knows when they're going to be in the space? And I don't want to say who cares, but also what's going to happen in 2020? Most economists think somewhere between end of 2019 and 2021, it could be a recession. So if you're a lender, you need to upgrade and install your tech stack. You need to train your sales force to use it and use it well. And if you're a referral-based local loan officer, you need to get there. You need to get there now. We're entering Q4. I'm recording this on October 1st of 2018, so it's first day of Q4. And before you know it, it's going to be the spring home buying season, which is a massive opportunity to kill it. And before you know it, it's going to be 2020. So there's no time to wait. You absolutely need to go from old school, non-multi-channel loan officer, go from rate quoter to value. I deliver advice and value. I am a mortgage advisor that uses technology to educate families in a way that's obvious and valuable. So make sure you tune in to our YouTube channel. You'll notice that I put a new playlist in here called Mortgage Strategies, because if you're going to be an advisor, you need to be able to deliver advice. So I've been interviewing some of the nation's most successful loan officers and some of the nation's best advisors. And I've been asking them, this is an interview I just did with Josh Metal. His team's going to do over 1,000 loans this year. And this was a situation where he was getting shot by a first-time home buyer who was talking to 7 different lenders. And he talked about how he helped that family make a decision between MI, no MI, pay off the MI, or buy out the MI, do a rate buy down. And this is the type of advice and strategy that you need to provide at the point of sale, and you need to provide the technology, and you need to provide the training to help your loan officers get there. You also highly recommended you need to get serious about your client for life. No more is a time where we can just say, oh, I wish I did annual reviews with my clients. I wish I did a better job of optimizing the opportunity with your past customers. To kick off the year in January, I published an article called Making a Case for Making Annual Mortgage Reviews Your #1 Priority in 2018. And nothing has changed. If anything, it's only become more clear and more obvious that this is what loan officers need to do. So check out that article. It's got some great scripts. I want to wrap this up with a definition of what the modern mortgage professional is. It is someone who captures data on clients and partners so that you can customize and personalize multi-channel content like a total cost analysis, like an annual review, like lifestyle touch points, which would be like birthday reminders, updates, market news, and top of mind insight based on insights and trigger alerts. So let's break that down. The first part, in terms of capturing data and putting it in the system, that's your CRM. Don't use it weekly, don't use it monthly, use it daily, use it hourly. And if you're not, you need to be. That means you need to deliver a multi-channel experience. You need to deliver services like a total cost analysis, like an annual review. By the way, not like, you need to deliver the mortgage coach TCA to every single borrower at the point of sale. And you need to make sure all of your past clients get an automated annual review. And then you need to be super smart. You need to have insights and trigger alerts. The biggest and best lenders have these insights and trigger alerts. Every loan officer in the country could and should have these. Talking more and more to the CEO of Sales Boomerang. They're doing a great job of providing this for different lenders. So this is what you need to do in order to kill it as a local mortgage professional. So hopefully you got some takeaways. If you were at Digital Mortgage and you had a takeaway, please add it in comments below. If you are part of the Mortgage Coach community and you have more questions for me, like any questions, put them below. If you got a takeaway from this interview and you liked something about it, there was a quote, put those in comments below. And please give us a like if you got any value from listening to this. Like it in YouTube, like it on Facebook, and share it with your friends. Take care, and hopefully this was valuable and helpful for you.